Hey guys, it's Robin. So to start off, I'd like to read you a poem that I wrote. This is where it all begins. This is where I come from, my friend, the beginning of the end. My childhood was sweet and careful, full of moments so sincere and cheerful. Moments with loved ones, moments with lost ones. This is my beginning of the end. This is where I stand. On my knees I beg for just a moment of clarity. Full of disdain, I try to explain how I feel to you. The words try to come out, not a whisper nor a shout, a calm voice emerges. I am courageous, strong, careful, and kind. Let me tell you what is on my mind. Suddenly I am calm. I have no fears. I am powerful. I will rage on. I am going to conquer this. My beginning is not the end, just another trail my life is leading. Let me explain that poem. I was born and grew up in Gurney on July 30th, 1997. My first memory is when I was 3 years old, visiting my great-grandma Sophia Lloydell. It happened to be 3 days before she died. I remember drawing for her all the time. I would show it to her and she would have the biggest smile on her face as my mom hung it up to put on the bulletin board. When I was in kindergarten, my teacher suggested to my parents that we go to an art school for me, but due to a lack of funds, this was unable to be accomplished. Despite being shy and reserved, I was still a pretty normal kid. I drew almost every day. My mom always encouraged me to do crafts when I was little, so every day I almost did a craft. My life was pretty steady until middle school happened. In 6th grade, I was still very shy and reserved. I never really participated in school. So much so that my English teacher actually forgot my name a few times. 8th grade was a pretty fun year, despite the fact of my anxiety starting, due to the fact that I had a group of friends and one of the friends was very negative. I told her we couldn't be friends anymore and she started harassing me in school. I got away from all the negativity when freshman year started. Almost every morning in freshman year I would wake up with crippling stomach pains. My parents and I thought it was a physical thing, so we went to the doctor. They had no idea what it was. I ended up starting going to therapy and they diagnosed me with anxiety and depression. Before all that, when we didn't know what was going on, I missed so much school. I missed 2 consecutive weeks of school and No Child Left Behind kicked in and I got homebound tutored by my teachers. I came back right before finals in first semester. Everybody for some reason thought I was dead, pregnant, or dying. There were a lot of rumors spread about me that I did not appreciate. Often nights I would stay up until 2 in the morning watching Friends and eating chocolate Pop-Tarts. This was my life for a year. Sophomore year, I went to one day at Warren Township High School. I barely made it through the day due to my physical pains from my anxiety. Yes, anxiety and depression can cause physical pain. It was explained to me that your brain is shooting pain signals to certain areas of your body to explain certain things that are going on in your mind. I missed more school and then I went to PHP, which is a hospital program in Highland Park. I learned a lot there. From thereafter, I went to a school called Connections Day School. After being there for 60 days, I was given an IEP, which is an individualized education program. This IEP gives me certain accommodations, like double time on tests. For the ACT, I got time and a half. I met a lot of really cool people there. On December 6, 2012, at approximately 5:30 p.m., I got Lucian Nicholas Atkins. Lucian's the greatest thing that's ever been in my life. It was a cold, dark winter night, and I was contemplating suicidal thoughts. I asked my mom if we could go to PetSmart since we were already in the car, and she agreed. We went in, and I saw the guinea pigs. Instantly, my eyes lit up when I saw Lucian. I pointed at him, looked at my mom, and said, "That's him, Mom. I'm gonna get him. He's my baby." She laughed and shook her head. I was so emotional that night, the second that he was in my arms, I started crying in the store. My mom saw the look on my face and called my dad. She couldn't get through. She looked at me and said, "I'm making an executive decision. The little guy's coming home with us tonight." Initially, I was supposed to leave Lucian in his cage for 24 hours to get him situated. But I didn't really follow that rule, and I cuddled him almost all night. Once junior year started, I transitioned back to Warren and was fully back by 2nd semester. I've had several boyfriends through this period of my life. I regret some, others I don't, but I acknowledge the fact that I've learned a lot. The summer between my junior and senior year, I met this guy named Tanner on the internet. We started dating for a couple months. He lives all the way in Washington. This is Tanner. It didn't really work out due to the fact that we both have mental health issues, but he's my best friend. And we still have a great relationship. A lot of my friends don't like the fact that Tanner and I still talk and are friends, but it's my life, and I wouldn't have a life without Tanner. I love him. Senior year's been pretty wild. It's been full of ups and downs due to my bipolar. But it's still the happiest I've been in a while, and I have my whole future set out in front of me. In the future, I plan on going to CLC for 2 years to get my gen eds out of the way, and then go to Rockford University. Hopefully within all that time, I'll be able to meet every single one of my internet friends, including Tanner and the HLC. What I'm about to show you is my group of friends on the internet called the HLC, which stands for Hamster Lovers Crew. We're not really sure why we call it the Hamster Lovers Crew, besides the fact that we really love hamsters and that we're just really quirky, fun individuals. But first, here is a 20-second clip of me making Lucian dance. Yep. This is Erin. She lives in Michigan. This is Riley, and they live in Oregon. This is Charlie, and he lives in New York. This is I, and they're from Pennsylvania. This is Mikey, and he lives in Illinois. This is Jess, and she lives in Florida. This is Anthony, and he's from Colorado. This is Allie, and they live in Arkansas. This is Jace, and he also lives in Illinois. This is Adam, and he lives in Virginia. This is Jasper, and he lives in Minnesota. This is Ryder, and he lives in New Hampshire. And that's pretty much my life.